I got from the book called One Hand, How One Small Loan Made a Big Difference. It's by Katie Smith Milway. And it's a picture book, but it's not really a children's book. This is a story about micro-lending, essentially. And I didn't win the Jane Addams Award. It was certainly nominated for the Jane Addams Award, and it did very well. It's an international book. It's about world peace, and it's very cool. So my storytelling, this story is called One Hand. And just to show you where it takes place, it's across the world from us. It's in Africa, in a country called Ghana, which is right here. So, this is Kojo. Kojo lives in a mud-walled home in a small village in Africa, in Ghana, with his mother. Every day, Kojo gathers firewood, and he brings it home for his mother to make their food. She cooks their meal in an open pot over a fire. She makes cassava and yams. And Kojo gathers extra firewood for them to sell at the market. They never have much money or much to eat. Now, in their small village in Ghana, there are 20 families. And one day, all 20 families get together, and they come up with a great idea. They decide they're going to pool their money together, and they'll loan it to every family, one family at a time. So each family has a chance to buy something to make their lives better. So first, the Achumpong family gets the money, and they decide they're going to buy 2 whole cartloads of fruit to sell at the market. Well, they do that, and they make money, and they're able to pay back their loan the very first time, and they still have a little money left over, so they can buy fruit to sell on market day every week. Well, next, and here's their market food. Next, the Duodo family gets the money, and they use it. They're wonderful weavers of beautiful cloth, and they use it to buy a second-hand sewing machine so that they can sew clothes with the cloth they weave, and they sew shirts, and they sew pants and dresses to sell on market day. Well, finally one day, it's Kojo's mother's turn, and Kojo's mother decides to buy a cart. She uses her cart so she can sell extra firewood in the market. Well, after she buys her cart, she has a few coins left over, and Kojo asks if he can borrow the coins because he has an idea too. And this is the small loan that Kojo gets. Kojo decides he wants to buy a hen. He thinks if he buys a hen, he and his mother will have more food to eat, and he can sell eggs in the market. So Kojo plans, and one day he walks 2 hours down the hot, dusty road to a neighboring chicken farm. And when he gets there, he's hot, and he's thirsty, and he's surrounded by chickens, and he has no idea how he'll choose a chicken. He looks down at his feet, and there's white chicken pecking at his feet. And he looks over, and there's speckled hens flapping their wings and clucking away. But then he spies one plump brown hen just sitting in her nest, and he looks at her, and he thinks, she looks like she'd like to lay eggs. And he buys that brown hen, and he brings her home. Well, that night, Kojo dreams about all the eggs he and his mother will eat and the eggs he'll sell in the market. And this is the brown hen that Kojo brings home with the money he got with one small loan. Well, it's a few days before Kojo finds any eggs, but one morning he finds one smooth brown egg hidden under the straw. And that week, his chicken lays 5 eggs. His mother and he each eat 1 egg, and he brings the others to market to sell. At the end of the market, Kojo's about to go home with some change in his pocket for the very first time when he looks down at the ground and he spies some loose grain and some pieces of fruit, and he picks them up and he brings them home to feed his chicken. Well, he slowly saves up his money, and 2 months later he's ready to pay his mother back. And in 4 months, he has enough money saved to buy another hen, and this time he chooses a red hen. Now Kojo has 5 eggs to sell at market every week, and these are the 5 eggs that Kojo sells from the hens he bought with one small loan. In 1 year only, Kojo has saved up enough money to buy 25 chickens. And not only that, but he saved up more money than that. Kojo thinks about what he should do with his money. Maybe he'll build a chicken coop, or maybe he'll buy his mother a new water bucket or a new knife. And then he thinks, I know, what I'd really like to do is go back to school. Well, Kojo's mother, you can imagine what Kojo's mother says. She says, Kojo, spend your money and buy your school books and pay your school fees and buy your school uniform. You should go back to school. So these are the school books that Kojo buys with the money he saves selling the eggs from the hens he bought with one small loan. Kojo studies hard in school. He has to. He's behind the other children. And he still has to learn the alphabet and how to read and write and do math. But later he learns all about his country and world history and current affairs. And he learns practical things too, like how to filter water so he has safe water to drink at home. And lessons he can use to take care of his chickens. Kojo studies so hard that his dreams grow bigger. And he wins a scholarship to go to college. This is the college that Kojo attends. From the money he saved, from the eggs he sells, from the hens he bought, with one small loan. After college, Kojo comes home and he and his mother talk and they decide they're going to start a real poultry farm. So they put their money together and they buy land and they build a chicken coop. But now they need more money. They need enough money to buy 900 chickens. So Kojo goes to the town nearby and he speaks to the bank manager and he asks for a loan. But the bank manager looks him over and he thinks, this is a young man from a poor family and he won't loan him the money. So Kojo goes to the city nearby where the bank headquarters is and he speaks to the bank manager. And at first that manager's about to say no too. But then Kojo tells him the story of how he started out with just a few coins and one brown hen. And the bank manager listens and then he decides to loan Kojo the money. So this is the farm that Kojo builds because he borrowed money from the bank, because he went to school, with the money that he saved, from the eggs that he sold, from the hens that he bought, with one small loan. And Kojo's farm does wonderfully well. His hens lay enough eggs for him to hire people from the village to come work there. And he meets a woman and marries, and they have 3 sons and 2 daughters. And one day there's a knock on Kojo's door, and it's the daughter of a man who works on his farm. She's holding a sack of coins, and she says she saved up her money. She wants to start a small business. And she asks Kojo for one thing, and that's for one small loan. Well, Kojo thinks, and he agrees to loan her the money on one condition. He says, if someday you'll loan the money to another family, I'll loan you the money today. And she does. So this is the town that springs up, and the city that grows and grows and grows, all because of one brown hen and a boy named Kojo and one small loan. And that's one hen.
That's awesome.